Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am, of course, Kenny Havoc. Today we're doing something a little bit different. It's going to be how WWE should book. Now, of course, many of you may know this as Adam Blampier's old show. Of course, he doesn't do YouTube wrestling anymore, so you got me now. Today's video is going to be how WWE should book the reunion of 3MB. 3MB was, of course, a jobber group back in 2013 and 2014 before two-thirds of them were released. One of them did nothing. One of them reinvented himself on the indies and became a world champion in TNA, ICW, and What Culture Pro Wrestling. All of them came back in both 2016 and 2017, and ever since then, all the fans have been clamoring for these three men who have done nothing in their first run, two of them doing something in their first run, and Heath Slater, all of them to come back together for one last run. And here's how they should do it. WWE, do it better. So the first thing that should be asked is why? Why should Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre reunite? There should be a main reason, not just, oh, they're all together now, put them in. So, what can be done to make three men have to team up? Maybe if there was a... Shock the system. That could work. Yes, the Undisputed Era will debut on Raw, forcing Kurt Angle to create a new group to destroy them once and for all. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what about the Shield? Dean Ambrose is back. Just have those three. Well, we'll get to that. So we're going to start off with each of their stories because right now, Heath Slater's got Rhino, Jinder Mahal has the Sings, and Drew McIntyre has Dolph Ziggler. So we're going to start with Heath Slater. Now, be warned, this is being filmed before SummerSlam. So I don't know any of the results. Just be warned with that. So we're going to start with Heath's storyline. He's got Rhino right now, and they're kind of a tag team that exists. And that's the nicest thing I can say about them. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get rid of Rhino. So at Extreme Rules on the pre-show, there's a big Fatal 4-Way tag team match. It's Titus Worldwide, The Revival, Heath Slater and Rhino, and I don't know, Baron Corbin can sneak in and get like a partner. I don't know. But mainly the thing is Revival win. I know you're thinking, what about Authors of Pain? We don't want Authors of Pain to lose again. So Revival win here, but the last team eliminated is Heath Slater and Rhino. Then back on Raw the next night, there'll be a confrontation between the two where Rhino says like he's near the end of his run. He can't keep going like this, and then Slater will just slap him. And the crowd will be like, ooh, no, you can't do that. And then he will say, at SummerSlam, I want to be in the ring with you, but not in your corner. I want to be facing you in an Extreme Rules match or a hardcore match. Just some kind of like big weapon killy match. And then the two will have it. Slater will win. Good. And then on Raw, we have the big retirement promo from Rhino. He lost his last match, but he lost it to Heath Slater, the guy he's trying to put over. And in the middle of this segment, we hear all four Undisputed Era come out, attack Slater and Rhino, proving that they are not just a dominant force, but also a hated one because they debuted, ruining the retirement of Rhino. And that also puts Heath Slater out with a kayfabe injury for now. Next up, Jinder. The one thing that made Heath Slater's story easy is that he's already a face, and we want 3MB to be faces, not heels here. And the problem is, Jinder and Drew are heels. So we need to turn both of them, and we can't do it the same way. So this way for Jinder, it's going to be immediately after Money in the Bank. He's like, a year ago at this time, I was the WWE champion. Now I'm losing in a nothing match to Roman Reigns in the middle of a pay-per-view. And, try to blur the lines between kayfabe and reality. And then Sunil, yeah, that's the one that's left. It's like, come on, what about this? And Samir comes back, and they're like, yeah, we'll have a party now, woo! But he's still just upset. He's like, no, a year ago, I was the world champion, and now I'm nothing. Because we don't want to give him that stupid peace storyline, because that was stupid. And it is stupid still. Still going on. And then he'll have a story where he will slowly turn face that way. Where he's just trying to make it back to the status he was at a year ago. And he'll have matches with, like, Mojo, because he's a heel that's mid-card. And he'll put in good performances, but he won't win. And this will continue to Extreme Rules. And then at Extreme Rules, Jinder finally beats Mojo on the pre-show, of course. And then him and the Sings are celebrating. And then he'll be like, no. You guys helped me a year ago, but not the way I want to win anymore. I want you to go to 205 Live. I want you to be a tag team there. I can do this on my own now. But they all stay, they're still the boys. Finally, we get to Drew. His is a bit trickier. His turn's going to be a bit quicker than Mahal's was. Also, his is going to not be as natural. It's going to be just quick, done with. What happens is, at Extreme Rules, Dolph Ziggler beats Seth Rollins. There's no getting around that. And same thing happens in real life. Good. And then Dolph's like, why am I still facing Rollins? He can't beat us. There's two of us. He can't do it. And then McIntyre starts to realize Dolph can't beat Rollins on his own. So he starts doing a program where he's like, you know what, Dolph? Beat Seth on your own. We're gonna see tonight. I'm not going at ringside. You face him tonight in a match on Raw. Rollins wins because McIntyre's not out there. And that creates tension between not only Rollins and Dolph, but also McIntyre and Dolph. But the next few weeks, McIntyre still accompanies Dolph at ringside, but there's still that tension. And until the go-home show before SummerSlam, where since Rollins beat Dolph on Raw, they have a match for the IC title. But Kurt Angle comes out, and he says, no, this isn't going to be one-on-one. It's going to be a triple threat, and Drew's in. And that should get the crowd happy, because Tyler Black and Drew Galloway. And they have the match at SummerSlam. It's a triple threat. It should be really good. These are three good, quick, kicky guys who have lovely hair. Yeah. And Drew wins by pinning Dolph. And Dolph's like, how could you do that? We were both gonna get the world titles. We were gonna be a team that way. And then he just kind of looks at him, knees him right in the chest, then Rollins goes and hits a curb stomp on Dolph. They shake hands. Dolph leaves. No, not Dolph. Seth leaves. And Drew celebrates with the belt, with Dolph still just laying in the ring. All three are face. By the time SummerSlam is done, back on Raw. So, Jinder, his story didn't end at SummerSlam, and that's good, because you don't want all three of them to end at the same time. You want spaced out so it's not obvious. But Undisputed Era, the night after SummerSlam, run through everyone. They get through Revival, the Deleters of Worlds, B-Team, just everything. Just everything. and that should make, everyone upset. I move on to the Undisputed Era story. The night after SummerSlam, they put out Rhino for good, and they put out Heath Slater for now. They also go through the entire tag division, beat up the B Team, the Leaders of Worlds, Titus Worldwide. They don't go for Authors of Pain, which is good because you don't want to mess with them right now. They even beat up the Revival, who beat the B Team at SummerSlam to get the belts. And so Bobby should still be injured at this point, but he still accompanies them. And Adam Cole says, all right, we want the tag team belts, and I want the Intercontinental belt. And what is anybody going to do about it? And so we hear this. Out and he says, I know what we're going to do. You're going to face another 3-man team. Then we hear, burn it down! Immediately followed by just about 10 seconds, probably. Good few seconds before finally big 6-man tag main event for the not go home show, or should it be go? Yeah, for the go home show. The Shield versus the Undisputed Era. If the Undisputed Era win, they get matches for the Tag Team Championships and the Intercontinental Championship. And the Shield are just going crazy on them. It should be a really good 6-man tag because all 6 of the guys involved are, pretty good. Bobby Fish will try to interfere toward the end. Referee will throw him out, and that'll get them upset. And no. And then just at the very end, when Seth Rollins, Adam Cole, ooh, that's good, will have like their one-on-one spot. And it looks like Rollins is going to go for curb stomp, goes off the ropes, and then Ambrose elbows him right in the back of the head. Goes back in, hits Dirty Deeds, puts Adam on top of Seth. Undisputed Era win and get their title matches. So for the tag belts, it's Undisputed Era versus the Revival. Revival don't win, but they don't lose the belts. Bobby Fish attacks them because they hit the Shatter Machine on Roddy, and they get the 1-2, but then attack, so that's fine. And then toward the end of the show, Adam Cole, Drew McIntyre inside the cell to keep out the rest of the Era. Midway through the match, Adam Cole hits the referee, which allows Bobby Fish to pull out bolt cutters and get in, as well as Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And they start wailing into Drew. And the crowd's like, no, he's going to lose now. And then we hear, crowd should go mental. It's a pay-per-view crowd. But he's just standing there. He's not doing anything. Commentators are confused. Crowd's cheering. And then we hear, both men have returned since their last appearances after Undisputed Era took them out. Both of them rush down to the ring, get in after, because of course the door is open now, and they even the odds mostly because Bobby Fish still, but he's injured still, so they shouldn't be attacking him anyway. 3MB reunite for the first time in 4 years to take the Undisputed Era out of the equation. Drew hits Claymore and Shattered Dreams DDT. And gets the win. Then at Survivor Series, it will be Undisputed Era 3MB 6-man tag. I know it's supposed to be Raw versus SmackDown here, but we're going to do it where it's just like one match. And it'll be world champions facing off, because I think that's better than having just the whole show like that. I think just one match, everything to, yeah. I don't know what that was. But they have their 6-man tag. Should be pretty good. Everyone in it, apart from maybe Heath, is really good. And Jinder. But they should be able to get through it all fine and everything. 3MB win. I know this might damage Undisputed Era, but it should be, they should be fine to take one more loss. Also, I mean, 3MB coming back. And it's nowhere near the level of Nexus. They can bounce back really easily because they'll have like the straps next time. They'll go for the belts this time. And 3MB stay a unit. Drew's still the Intercontinental Champion. We have a big 6-man, or not 6. There'll be 6 men, but it'll be a triple threat tag match between Heath and Jinder versus Undisputed Era versus Revival. This is where Undisputed Era win by pinning Heath and Jinder. So see, they stay strong there. And Adam does end up beating Drew for the belt at TLC. So now they hold all the gold. And Bobby should be fine by that point. And they can have like Freebird rule with the belts. But the 3 of them can remain a team. And maybe have Drew go for the Universal belt, which at this point should be held by Strowman. So that's how I would have done it. Did I do good? Did I do bad? I don't care. Thank you for watching.